Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, The Homestyle Homestead. My name is Lexi. If you are new here, I do all things homesteading. I run a sourdough micro bakery out of my home. I garden, I have chickens. Like I say in my little bio thing, if you could think of a hobby that your grandma does, I probably do it too. If you are interested in those types of things, then I am your girl. Today, I am going to be showing you how I make my vanilla extract. Two different ways. I'm going to show you one way that takes a little bit longer, but it's my more preferred way because the flavor is a little bit better, or a little bit quicker way and make a little vanilla bean paste. And this way is almost instant. So if you would like to see how I make my vanilla extract, then let's get started. So in this video, I'm going to show you how I make just your regular old traditional plain vanilla extract. And that is made with vodka. I'm also going to make a spiced vanilla extract with some Captain Morgan spiced rum. This will give a really good flavor for something that is already kind of spiced. So you could put this into your pumpkin pie spice cake, your chai latte cookies, something like that, that's really going to enhance the spice flavor. Or if you want to add it to something that doesn't have spice, it'll give it that spice flavor if you really like that. And then another fun one is brown sugar bourbon. This gives a really rich flavor. I would say it gives it a little bit more of like a nutty flavor to whatever you add it to, so that's really good. So we're gonna have a vodka, a rum, and a bourbon today. You can make this with pretty much any alcohol that you want. It's that simple to just throw some vanilla beans in it and let it sit for about 6 months. Now let's talk about vanilla beans. I get my vanilla beans from slowfoodgroup.com. Vanilla beans can be very, very expensive, and don't buy them when they are full price because a lot of companies will put them on sale. You just have to wait and keep your eye on them. I get the vanilla beans that come from Uganda. They have a bunch of different options on their website for where your vanilla beans come from. I really like these Ugandan ones because they're very big, thick, and they have a good amount of vanilla bean inside of them. I do have to say that I think you get a lot more bang for your buck from the Slow Food Group website. That's why I choose to go with them. This 1 pound is normally around $100, but like I said, if you wait for it to go on sale, I got this for about $88. That's including shipping. I do understand that this is expensive, but the good thing about this is it's going to go a long ways, and especially if you are going to be selling some of this like I am, you will make your money back for sure. And also, if it is a gift, it's a very amazing gift. Whoever you give it to is going to be very thankful. So it is definitely worth the money. It's way better than store-bought. This is very easy. So I'm going to just get these vanilla beans out onto my counter. Had them in my freezer, so they're a little hard to get out of here. If you have leftovers, that's exactly where you want to store them, is in the freezer until you're ready to use them. Once you get them in the mail, if you're not going to use them, throw them in the freezer. I also had about this much left over from last time. I'm gonna use all of these today. I'm going to save you a step if you are using Tito's. There's 8 cups of vodka in a Tito's handle. I know that. What I don't know is how many cups is in this bottle of Captain Morgan. This is a same amount, so 8 cups. These little bottles of brown sugar bourbon, however, are 750 milliliters each. So, okay. My guess is 4 cups. I bet this is half. Not quite. I love this bowl. I highly recommend that you get one of these bowls that says the cups on the side. This goes up to 8 cups, and this will be really helpful when you are making this. So let's see, in one of those, there's just under 4 cups, so I'm gonna pretend that there's 4 cups. We're gonna take these out. We're gonna try to fit oh my. We're gonna try to fit the beans into each bottle. I don't know why sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But if you don't have enough room, the best thing to put it in large mason jars on hand and ready to go. Off to the side if you need to put some excess in. Like I said, one time I did it and it all fit and another time it didn't. So I don't know why that is. I'm gonna take 6 of these beans and set them aside. And I'm gonna use these to show you how to make that quicker version of the vanilla extract and turn this into vanilla bean paste. We will do that at the end. Before we get started, we wanna make sure we have enough beans per cup. So what I like to do is count out per bottle all the beans that I'm gonna need for each bottle. A good rule of thumb of what I go off of is normally 6 beans per cup of liquid that you're using. In the case of these beans where they are so large, I do scale that down slightly. You can keep it up at 6 beans per cup. Since these are so big, I tend to do more like 4 per cup. That's gonna be 32 beans for this, 32 beans for this, and then 16 for each of these. If I have some left over, I'm not gonna put them to waste, I'll probably just put them in. Okay, so that leaves me with 15 beans. I'm going to try to evenly distribute these between the 4 bottles. That's like 4, so we'll put one less in this big one. Okay, just cut this one in half. Split that there. Okay, all right, so first we're gonna start with the vanilla vodka. Go ahead and remove this thing. Whoa. What we are gonna do, take each bean, since these are gonna fit in the bottle just fine standing up, you don't have to cut these ones in half. What we're gonna do is we're just going to cut a line right down the middle, and we're going to just slightly peel it open so that you expose all the beans inside like this. Once you have them pretty well exposed, then you will just drop them in. And then it's just as simple as that. Just do that with the remaining beans for this bottle. Okay, so I'm about halfway and it looks like it is gonna overflow. So, easy enough. We are going to just put this all in here. Okay, so I've decided this time, I think what happened the first time that I made it in here when it all fit was because some of it was removed from the bottle. I'm just gonna put it into this mason jar. Okay, I'm gonna throw the lid on. Whether or not you're putting it in your mason jar or it did fit in your original bottle, what you want to do now is, especially on this, so you remember what it is, write what you used, and we're gonna add today's date. That way we know I made this in October, so it'll be done 6 months from now in April. Okay, then give it a good shake and set this one off to the side. I'm gonna put the Captain Morgan just straight into this mason jar because I know it won't fit in the bottle either. But like I said, if you've only used half of it and you know there's like 4 cups in there, this is the perfect place to just throw your beans in and forget it. Just remember you want all the bean to be covered. So if you only have half and your bean is double that, cut the beans in half. You would just cut them in half like this and then cut that line down the middle. Now I'm gonna do the exact same thing for the Captain Morgan. Okay, and now the Captain Morgan one is done. I'm gonna shake this one and set this one off to the side. Now we have left our brown sugar bourbon. Now instead of these being separate, I'm just gonna combine the 2 piles that we're gonna go in each bottle. I'm just gonna put them all in this one bottle. give it a shake, and set it aside. Now for these, you're pretty much done. All you have to do is every now and then, if you think about it, just give it a good shake and set it right back until those 6 months are up. Once they are up, what I like to do is get a pitcher like this that has a little spout and a strainer. You can use either size. This fits in this better. And what you're gonna do then is just take the lid off, strain it all into this. What you're doing is you're really just removing the pods from the liquid. I love this pitcher because then when you go to put it in whatever you're putting it into, it has a much more concentrated spout. You're not gonna waste any of it by accidentally spilling it. So that's why I love this. This is the style jar I used last time. I think I'm gonna get those little jars that are amber colored, the glass, for my next batch. It doesn't matter what you use, just get you a good jar. Once you have strained your pods away from your now vanilla extract, I like to, as you can see in there, put a couple of the beans in my jar. That way I can just continue to infuse. I like to just store them in a cool, dark spot in my pantry. And just remember to do this every now and then. With your vodka, over time you will notice the clear liquid will turn brown, and that's what you want to see. Okay, and now for the vanilla bean paste, what you're gonna need is a blender, your vodka. You want a little jar that you're gonna put it in. We're making a cup's worth with this recipe. If you wanna upscale it, just double it, quadruple it, whatever you wanna do. Maple syrup or light corn syrup, up to you on what you wanna use. And we'll use some water and some sugar. It might help to have a scale. You wanna use 30 grams of vanilla beans, or with these ones in my case, it's 6. And you want to cut these into little pieces and then add those to your blender. 42 grams or a quarter of a cup of water, 114 grams of sugar or half a cup, 84 grams of vodka, which is just under half a cup. If you wanted to go up to half a cup, it really wouldn't hurt. And then it's half an ounce of corn syrup or the maple syrup, whichever you prefer to use. Then you want to do 1/8 of a teaspoon of xanthan gum. Now you don't have to do this part, but this is going to help it set up. Make it a little thicker as opposed to being pretty runny. You don't have to use it, but I'm going to. From here, what you're gonna do is just blend it. Okay, I let this blend for a good minute or so. You really want it to blend those beans up really good. Okay, so now I'm going to take this strainer. I'm gonna take our mixture and I'm going to strain it through the strainer. Just help it through the strainer. I do this because the pods that the seeds are in are pretty tough and I don't like that in my vanilla bean paste. So you want to get that out. Vanilla bean paste is really a 1-to-1 replacement to vanilla extract. The reason you would use this instead is this is really going to keep that bean look to whatever you're using. So I like to use this in certain frostings if I want the bean to be present. Make sure you really work this through. You're gonna have this kind of looking stuff in there. And you wanna make sure you really work all the liquid out of it. Then I'm just gonna throw this away. And that got us just about 1 cup's worth of vanilla bean paste. Now I'm going to transfer it to my jar. If you want it thicker than this, you can add a little bit more xanthan gum in here and just shake it up. But the great thing about this is now done. You could use this today and it's gonna be just as flavorful as if you were using a vanilla extract that sat for 6 months. That is everything for this video. I really hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that this was helpful for you. Let me know down in the comments if you make this and what you think of it. I hope that this is a good gift idea for you, maybe for Christmas. I know Christmas is coming up, so give this video a thumbs up and please hit that subscribe button. I'd love for you to stick around. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you in the next one. Bye.